Long ago, there was a volcanic island hidden in the confines of the oceans. A queen of great beauty exercised a power without limit. Monsters out of the mists of time protected this treasure. It derived its power from the bowels of the earth. The queen's subjects extracted precious colored stones. Made in the flames of hell, they were of an unequaled brightness and strength. These gems were colored diamonds, and the island, Borneo. Cyril Motte comes from a generation of jewelers representing a new trend. He chose the city of Dubai in the United Arab Emirates to reveal his creations. My jewelry, first and foremost, is color, mood, sound, smell, and then I go and I draw. So I call my ornaments Bali, Zen, Samurai, Flamingo. This covers a broad scope, and it's really the result of a fleeting emotion. I'm very, very true to my drawings in our designs. We work hard on our drawings, and after, the quest for stones can begin. It's something that's driven by the workshop in Paris. Often I go into forms, volumes, sizes that are virtually impossible to find. And since I'm working in color, especially for diamonds, that's very, very hard to find. I'm not just making jewelry. I try to apply this to all other media. I'm developing a project that's very close to my heart with a technical development called stick setting. It means setting that is stuck on and glued and not a traditional setting. I reworked all of the elements, the so-called fitting points of an Aston Martin, and I am in the middle of the development of a study. We dismantled an Aston Martin. This is something absolutely huge. We worked on it for 6 months. As such, I decided to do it in brown diamonds. Between 40 and 50,000 stones, which we're going to take, and from which we're going to select 6,000 or 7,000 stones, which must all have the exact same color variation, which we specified and decided on based on the color of the bamboo veneers on this car. And the place we think we should go to find these is Borneo. Borneo, with its thick jungles, its wetlands, its headhunters, and giant rivers, has made more than one adventurer dream. The south is part of the Indonesian archipelago, which is formed by 17,000 islands and a unique ethnic diversity. On this volcanic soil, more than 1 million years ago, our distant ancestor, Java Man, took his first step. The Indonesian part of Borneo is called Kalimantan. It has many riches. The Dayaks, once formidable hunters, Christianized in the 16th century, are still a strong presence on the island, despite a policy of resettlement organized by the Indonesian central government in Jakarta. This country is a natural reserve of oil, gas, timber, and an extremely rare and valuable mineral, the diamond. Little known, even to specialists, the southern region of Borneo has produced extraordinary colored diamonds for centuries. World travelers Marco Polo and Tavernier mention this in their works.
Selamat siang, Mr. Patrick Fuayo. Welcome to Pontianak.
Hello, welcome to Pontianak. We'll take you to the district of Landak, where the diamond mines are.
Let's go.
Let's go. In the southwestern part of Kalimantan, in the Pontianak region, and especially near the Landak River, is rich in colored diamonds. It's in the city of Naban that the trade in diamonds from this region is concentrated. This is the traditional diamond market of Naban. There are all kinds of diamonds in the shops. You can find diamonds that are colored or white.
Diamonds, fancy diamonds and white diamonds. And most of the sellers are the diamond miners.
Most of the sellers are miners who search for diamonds. And people use diamonds for beauty, or... Yes, diamonds are used to make jewelry, but also for susuk. What is susuk? Some people believe that susuk can make you more beautiful and stronger. They believe that it has a bulletproof effect, that bullets cannot enter the body.
The bullet cannot enter your body.
The ancient tradition of susuk, practiced by some imams, consists of implanting diamonds under the skin.
Budaya susuk di Indonesia.
There are several kinds of susuk cultures in Indonesia and Kalimantan, especially in the vicinity of Banjarmasin. In Banjar, or in the southern part of Kalimantan, but also in North Sumatra and Java. It turns out that the culture of susuk is very popular in Java because it has commenced with the nobility and the palaces. They use susuk to enhance their inner beauty. Commonly, women use cosmetics and jewelry, but the Indonesian culture considers that something that exists in the depths of each person can be roused by the use of susuk. This susuk has the characteristic to amplify what's inside us, things such as beauty. And each region has its own art in accordance with the history. In Kalimantan, originally, the susuk were done with rough diamonds, which were placed on the beams of the house or in the roof, whose primary purpose was to protect it, that it be strong and be the pride of its owners. For the occupier, susuk makes the atmosphere calm, harmonious, and from which emanates a sense of peace and serenity. Popular belief says that the susuk also has a spiritual aspect, or a magical aspect, that repels harmful actions and bad spells.
We are going to see the diamonds.
Let's go see the diamonds. You see, there are many vendors in front of the shops.
And
you can purchase diamonds here.
You can buy the diamonds here, and the system is cash and carry.
The system is I pay and I take. That's about 1,500 euros. But here you can haggle and negotiate.
But here you can bargain.
How many carats is it?
How many carats is this one? That's more than 2 carats.
Which color?
Yellow.
It's a colored diamond. What color?
Yellow.
Yellow, deep yellow.
They have other colored.
Do they have other colored diamonds? Yes, but today they have not brought them.
Yes.
Yes, you have to make a
Ah, yes?
which day
Yes, you
will
must make an
come back
appointment.
here.
Tell them what day you will return.
Blue or something
Yes,
like that?
they have.
Do they have
red and
blue or any other color?
green, yellow.
Yes, red,
brown,
blue, green,
and also
yellow,
white
brown,
color.
and white also.
He's a broker.
He's a broker. He buys the stones from miners and sells them on the market here.
And then he sell it here in the market.
That's his stone or he has some...
These are his stones?
to sell?
Miliknya Bapak sendiri.
Are these your stones?
Yes.
Yes.
This is.
Yes, they are his stones.
Okay. Do you have best color diamond?
Do you have better color diamonds, such as blue or green?
Blue, green or...
Apakah Bapak punya yang warna biru,
Better
atau
colored
merah, atau pink begitu?
Pinks, for example? No, not today.
They don't have it.
Today
But
I have
sometimes
none,
they have
but occasionally I have red,
they
blue,
have
pink.
red, blue, and pink color.
What's the hardest color to find?
color to find?
The most difficult.
The most difficult color to find is
found here in Ngabang is the
blue
one.
here in Naban.
But
We
they
often find
the
pink
red
or
and
red.
the pink one.
At a half-day's trip lies the Landak River. In Dayak, the name means River of Diamonds. Small villages are concentrated near the river. They are the only means of communications with which to penetrate the thick, damp jungle, or, conversely, to go back to civilization. It is a means of survival for the people of this country.
People who live in this forest are mostly Dayak and Malay tribes. Dayak tribe.
People who live in this jungle are mainly from the tribe of the Dayaks and Malays. The Dayak tribe has their own land, separate from the land of the Malay. Some tribesmen of the Dayaks and Malays work in the diamond mine. This jungle is in the Landak district, and this district is known for its colored diamonds.
It is very famous with the colored diamonds resources.
Dayak tribes that inhabit the forest live in wooden houses. They have their own bathrooms and toilets along the river.
They have bathroom and toilet along the river. They believe that
the forest is their ancestor.
Their ancestor. So forest for them is very important.
The forest is very important to them. They cannot live without the forest. They protect it as they would their own ancestors. The younger generation thinks they need more money. They cut their own forest that belongs to their ancestors. They cut down trees to open up farmland or plantations of palm oil.
To open the oil farm, palm oil plantation. But basically, the Dayak tribes.
But generally, the Dayak tribes try not to destroy their forest. It's the logging companies that come and cut more trees.
This issue is the logging companies cut the trees in the forest much more than the Dayak tribe.
Along the river, after several hours of navigating, the first diamond operations appear. They're usually located near water to wash the ore rich in gems. Working conditions are extremely harsh in this hostile environment. The humidity, mud, and moist heat are the daily life of miners.
The Dayak tribe
has its own land.
Their own land, and they mine the diamonds from their.
And they exploit the diamonds.
They work
in groups.
And then
There's a leader.
There is a leader,
a group of
In one group, you can
10
find
or so
sometimes
individuals
10
or more.
people or more than 10 peoples. The bigger
The larger the
groups
group,
you
the more chance they
can,
have of finding
you can
diamonds.
work, is the more opportunities to find more diamonds. And then once
they have found them, they sell them to local buyers, and they share the income among all the members of the group.
And then they share the income to all the group members.
Deep in the forests, the Dayaks have discovered rich deposits of diamonds. Colored diamonds from Borneo are little known, yet the mines were already operating at the time the famous Golconda mines in India were exhausted, in the 17th century. Without producing an extremely large amount, these mines continue to produce for centuries exceptional colored stones. In Borneo, the exploitation of these precious stones is made in deposits known as secondary. Here we do not find diamonds in the places where they were originally formed. The colored diamonds were trapped on top of ancient volcanoes, in the rock, when they were formed. Erosion created by water runoff, wind, and other weather destroyed the rock. Crystals, thus torn from the rock, were taken to the valleys and into the riverbeds and transported by the current. Their higher density allowed them to be trapped and concentrated in large quantities in any holes. Alluvium carried by the rivers covered the diamonds. Then the rivers dried up or were diverted, leaving rich deposits in the soil of the jungle of Borneo. Women clean the ore in pans that are large wooden trays. They allow, by turning them in the water, to concentrate in the center the denser minerals, like diamonds. This is done with great agility and great skill. They extract the precious stones. I'm 20. My big brother is a logger. He has no fixed employment. He can sell wood or be a motorcycle taxi. He's done all kinds of work. His wife stays at home. She's a housewife. My little brother, called Albertus, he's in school in Gabon. My mother does not work. She owns the machines. We are her employees. The land where we look for the diamonds belongs to the family of my mother. Despite the invasion of Borneo by the Dutch who Christianized the Dayaks, the people kept cultural and religious traditions that are still very present today. The Dayak community often calls on shamans who use magic. Their powers are supernatural and paranormal. They allow them to help the Dayaks to solve many of their problems. It's for this reason that Ivit never fails to take advice from them during the ceremony called Baliant. This ceremony occurs only once a year. Shamans use a very special music called kabawak that attracts the spirit of the ancestors to cure the villagers. The shaman first brings the soul of the patient's body, and it brings out the evil spirit. Then he must find the cause of the malfunction. Ivit is worried for her mother, who is ill. She finds little diamonds these days, not enough to support her family and pay for their care. To locate the evil, the shaman uses a huge diamond. Placed on the patient's face, the crystal will be the mediator to read his health problems. Then the shaman will review the diamond, saying prayers for the stone to reveal the secrets of this sick body. It is the ancestors who will solve the problem. The shaman must get in touch with them. He raises a red scarf to his head. Red is an important color to the Dyaks. It will be the link between the wizard and the spirits. When death is lurking and could take a soul, he swings his arms to warn the spirits that they must act quickly. The Dyaks transmit from generation to generation many traditions. This dance, called Panyu Barang Atag, is a scene that recalls a prince and his courtiers. Its main attribute is kris, a long dagger whose hilt was often covered with colored diamonds, a symbol of the extreme power of the sovereign. In some cases, the blade was made up of 9 types of steel from 9 different countries, mixed with metal from meteorites. This mixture was forged and hardened for 40 days, and then washed in 12 different rivers. This ritual, associated with the mystical power of diamonds, gave the kris supreme and absolute power, which it passed on to its holder.
Nama saya Kanjeng Raden Tukimin Wisanggeni Kuno Diningrat.
My name is Kanjeng Raden Tukimin Wasaneji Kuno Diningrat. I live in the palace courtyard. I followed His Majesty wherever he went for a long time. It was the King Pakubuwono.
Penjajah Belanda pada waktu itu, yaitu VOC, di mana semua budaya.
The kingdom of Sukarata Hadiningrat underwent many influences during the Dutch colonization.
Bangunan-bangunan, atribut-atribut masih sangat kental dengan peninggalan-peninggalan dari VOC, yaitu Hindia Belanda.
The East India Company left heavy footprints, whether in culture, architecture, clothing, or diamond jewelry. The palace houses many relics of royal jewels, especially diamonds from Kalimantan, the most beautiful were cut in Europe, mainly in the Netherlands, Italy, and Germany.
Juga perhiasan-perhiasan itu sendiri, terutama berlian, selain juga
those from the Netherlands were used on the regalia, such as the king's crown.
Terutama dari Kalimantan, misalkan. Tapi lebih banyak.
The palace still has many items, including the royal kris and other attributes.
Dari Eropa, terutama dari Belanda, dari Italia, bahkan mungkin juga dari Jerman. Dari Belanda sendiri yang sangat banyak diterima.
Most of the regalia were decorated with colored diamonds, but also rubies and sapphires. Diamonds are still the most numerous.
Juga untuk Adelaide, juga mahkota raja sendiri banyak, terutama berlian-berlian yang berkualitas, terutama dari Eropa.
mudah gitu, karena dia menggunakan mesin.
I work in the diamond mine. I quit school in order to work in the diamond industry. It takes half an hour to walk to get there, sometimes less by boat.
Di bidang sulit juga nggak bisa, di bidang ada alatnya bisa dia lancar.
The alluvium, collected by pumps, are sent along with water onto huge screens. Wooden bars are placed perpendicular to the stream. They let through the earth and block all the stones, among which are the diamonds. The water is stopped and the sorting can begin.
Kayak yang teman kemarin kan dalam satu tempat dan satu.
My whole family doesn't work in the diamond industry. For example, there are some who are in the timber sale. We share activities.
Warna putih.
The work is not very difficult because there are machines.
Itu warna kuning karat. Terus.
It is difficult when they break down, but we cannot say it's hard work when the machines are working properly.
Ada warna gitu. Itu aja jenis warnanya. Warna extra jos. Kayak ada 4 jenis yang sering ketemu. Yang pernah aku ketemu yang aku alamin sendiri ya, cuman 4 karat lebih yang ada.
We do not often find diamonds. Sometimes
Terus di atas
you can only find one. In a day's work we find 2 or 3 depending on the place. I even have a friend who recently found 20 at once in the same place. Where I am, I found 3. Most often there are 4 diamond colors: white, rainwater colored, yellow orange, gray, and amber, dark yellow. The largest diamond I found was over 4 carats. I never found any bigger. I usually sell the diamonds to the outpost upstream, at the river, and in Pontianak, I go to the Chinese. Payment is in cash. If one day I find a big stone, I would seek a buyer who would offer me the best price. Regardless of whether Westerner or Chinese, it's the price that matters.
Nama saya Aisparto, berasal dari Gabang, Kabupaten.
My name is Ais Suparto. I am from the Gabang District, Department of Landak, Kalimantan Barat Province of Indonesia.
Saya pekerja intan.
I work directly at the diamond mines.
Satu minggu.
I come to the mine 4 times a week,
4 kali satu minggu.
so 12 times a month.
Membeli intan yang biasa sebesarnya 4
I buy diamonds that are 4 carats,
Ada yang lebih
10 carats sometimes.
Kemarin sebeli dan harganya
Recently, I bought a diamond that was 17 carats for 270 million rupees. I sold it in Jakarta.
6 sampai sekarang. Pertama dulu saya menemukan intan itu.
I've been doing this business since 1976.
Di kemarin kami menemu intan.
I often buy colored diamonds.
Air Landak Ngabang ya. Sampai dekat Ulu Melanggar lagi.
There are plenty of diamonds along the Landak River between Gabang and upriver. But there are more in the area called Kuala Bihi.
Lebih banyak itu intannya. Ada yang punya
1 person found a diamond of 44.35 carats in 1995.
1995. Ating yang beli.
Did you ever contact in Jakarta?
Ya, saya dulunya kan belum kenal dengan dia.
Large stones, I have them cut in Jakarta, and I sell them there.
Ating di Jakarta.
My buyer is in the Bromo neighborhood.
itu ya. Ya pembelinya, I think.
The last diamonds I had cut were purchased by Mr. Edwing.
Edwin is baptized name.
Yang kemarinnya,
Recently, a pink diamond that I bought for 200 million rupees, I sold for 1.2 billion rupees to Mr. Lim of Singapore.
pink merah. Yang beli 500 juta dijual 1,2.
The rainforests of Borneo are aptly named. In 1997, serious disturbances broke out between the Dayaks and Muslim settlers from the island of Madura in East Java and caused many deaths. A 1,000 miles separates Kalimantan from Jakarta, the capital of Indonesia, where the largest seller of colored diamonds in Asia is based, Mr. Edwing. Jakarta, populated by 12 million inhabitants, is a sprawling metropolis. Mr. Edwing has a virtual monopoly on all the colored diamonds of Kalimantan. His buyers, such as I Suparto, are present at the output of the mine and in all places of extraction of diamonds, and are the first to buy the stones for this outstanding account.
Mr. I sent me you have a big diamond to...
Do you have large diamonds to show me?
I show you this.
Yes. I have pink, pale pink. It's 10.22 carats.
10 carat 22.
10 carat?
Yes.
So it's big. And this stone come from...
And this stone comes from Kalimantan?
Pontianak, this pieces. Yes.
Yes, it comes from Kalimantan, from Pontianak. And do they find many colored diamonds in that place?
The small, yes.
Yes,
The bigger,
small ones. The larger ones are very difficult to find
very,
these days.
Very hard today for the bigger one.
Intense yellow.
Come from
Is it also from Pontianak?
This is the rough 40.
Yes, and the rough stone was 48 carats.
It's yellow, huh?
It's yellow.
Yellow, yes.
Yellow, yes.
What is the price of the stone?
What is the price of this one?
Maybe 1 carat.
$80,000 a carat.
$80,000.
What is the most difficult?
What color is the hardest to find? I think they're all difficult to find. It's easy to find white diamonds, but diamonds of color are very, very difficult. Sometimes we buy raw blues, and they become, after polishing, a sort of blue-gray. And sometimes the gray is the same for green and yellow-green. Sometimes the rough stone is very green, and then you polish it by removing a type of skin, and it turns yellow, or sometimes it turns a green-yellow. And that's where we lose money, lots and lots of money.
The skin already come to yellow. Sometimes come to yellowish green, greenish yellow, and you put in dye, sometimes come to anti-termen and lose money, many lose.
The buyer can lose a lot of money with rough diamonds, paid dearly, whose color is poorly estimated. Some stones, such as green and red, are at a price several hundred times higher than a white diamond of equal weight.
Do you find colored diamonds?
Do you find colored diamonds in Kalimantan only?
Mostly from
Kalimantan, but occasionally I have offers from the royal family for diamonds.
I got offers from the royal family who sell, family old gems.
That's new
These are recent or old stones?
Those are old stones.
These are old family stones. They sell them from time to time when they
sell
need it.
them, when they need to.
Do you find
Are you ever offered synthetic stones?
Synthetic? Not really. But
Not
one
really.
of the ones
But once I was
getting
presented with a stone that had been
finished
irradiated in a
stone,
blue-green.
which was brought in by
It was
the
offered to me by a stranger. And when we found out, the guy was excommunicated from the community.
You buy these stones?
Do you buy the stones for yourself?
For yourself? Or?
Right now, I got a special request.
Right now I have a special request of a big order of brown diamonds. I'm also looking for more special colored stones, pink and deep blue, for one of the largest specialists of colored diamonds in Antwerp.
Special, fancy, intense blue and pink diamonds.
Antwerp, in Belgium, is a major world center for diamond trading. Few men are specialized in the sale of these rare minerals. Less than 20 red diamonds have been identified in the world. Diamond is pure crystallized carbon. Generally transparent and colorless, the capricious nature has placed parasitic elements during its formation. Boron makes it blue, the presence of hydrogen gives it pink, red or purple, yellow is nitrogen, and the contact in nature with radioactive uranium salts generates green. The color palette is infinite, all the way to black, in which there are inclusions of graphite carbon. Brown is often due to tensions in the crystal.
My name is Arthur Langerman.
For 50 years I've been in the diamond trade. Actually, I started in diamond because after the war there was only one profession in which one could make a living fairly quickly, and that was the trade of diamonds. I started by cleaning the floors, and then looking for stones that fell, and then gradually I learned to cut, to saw. I saw all the facets of this business. After 10 years of learning, I became independent. I took all my little savings I had at the time and I started in business. This means buying a stone, trying to cut it, and trying to resell it for a living. And I was always fascinated by the diamonds that had colors other than white. And they had all these suave colors. They were more beautiful than white diamond. I thought that they were more beautiful than white diamond anyway. And there were not many people interested in them. There are people who dream of women, vacations, sex, the moon. I dream of diamonds. My fondest dreams are when I fall asleep at night and I dream that I'm carving a stone, and I dream of what it will become. I made a decision, and it was the main decision in my life. I said, I'll never touch a white diamond. I'll put my focus and my energy only into colored diamonds. I made a small charter of different colors myself, and I got to nearly 350 different colors. So in the classifications it looks like this. Red diamond's the first, the second's the blue diamond, pink diamond's the third, then the green diamond, the orange diamond, the purple diamond. And then come the yellow, and after that are the cognac-colored diamonds, the olive-colored diamonds. And then there are all the colors in the rainbow. In fact, in the diamond it's pretty amazing. There are all the colors in nature. It's been counted that about 1 in 10,000 diamonds will be a colored diamond. And in 1987 there was a sale at Christie's where a red diamond that was 95% of a carat was sold for $880,000. That plus the 50% charge, and it was nearly $1 million, which was a price that was unheard of. And suddenly the world woke up to colored diamonds.
Jamais entendu. Et soudain, le monde s'est réveillé aux diamants de couleur et on s'est dit, tiens.
And we said, like with the diamond, the colored diamond is something that has great value. Its rarity is beautiful, and it's actually beautiful, it's rare, it's extraordinary. And so finally it's found some interest among the general public.
De l'intérêt auprès du grand public.
I'm Philippe Serret. I'm an expert jeweler. We participate in many public auctions with the help of auctioneers. This time, we'll sell a blue diamond that's 6.5 carats. It's quite a magical stone, unique, of which we encounter very few. Even a life where, as I've had a chance to come across many different stones, there are not more than 3, 4, or 5 like this per year. And generally they're relatively new stones, whereas this is an old stone. It gives it charm. It's superior. This stone was estimated between 500,000 and 700,000 euros. Sold for 2,430,000 euros. In the end, its buyer paid, with fees, 2,793,105 euros. There are, of course, all the historical stones. There are beautiful historic stones which now belong in the major museums. From time to time, there's one that comes on the market. There's also a diamond in Paris now that's quite mysterious, and we don't know very well. It's almost never seen. The Condé, which is a pink diamond that could be from Golconda, perhaps even from Borneo, I don't know. But it's a beautiful diamond, apparently. I haven't seen it yet. I expect to see it in the museum. They've invited me to come see it. We're here at the Château de Chantilly. My name is Nicole Garnier, and I'm the Chief Curator of Heritage. The museum is responsible for the Condé diamond. I keep all the collections that were bequeathed to the Institut de France by the Duke of Aumale. Amongst the most beautiful jewels that were inherited from the prince in the 19th century is the pink diamond, the Grand Condé. While this diamond is exceptional in both size, 9.01 carats, and by its clarity and purity, well, this diamond has a very complicated and very strange story. It's believed, according to tradition, that it arrived in France at the end of the 17th century. It bears the name the Grand Condé, which would mean it was owned by Prince Chantilly in the 17th century. In 1926, thieves were going to break in. They would break a window pane, enter the Room of Gems, and steal all the jewels that were there for Christmas. And then 4 months later, shortly before Christmas 1926, the following took place. Back in Paris, in a shabby little hotel near the Gare de l'Est, the robbers were Alsatians, the maid was a little concerned about these disturbing characters who would come and go, who wouldn't sleep there every night, who would leave suitcases. She spoke to the owner and she said, "We have to make an inventory of the luggage that they moved into the wooden bell." They took the suitcase, and in the suitcase was an apple, and she thought the apple would stain the clothes if the people didn't come back right away. So she took a bite of the apple, broke her tooth, and in it found the pink diamond that was hidden inside. I recently had an order from a jeweler. He needed more or less about 10,000 stones, brown, to decorate the interior of a car. And the difficulty of this operation was that the diamond needed to be calibrated to 100th of a millimeter.
La difficulté de cette opération était que chaque diamant devait être calibré au centième de millimètre près. Donc, j'ai passé
So I've been here for 2 months, getting the brown diamonds, all colors, calibrating them, so it was very, very difficult, generally to try to fulfill my duties. I almost gave up 10 times because I had to call on the world's production to be able to make this car.
J'ai dû faire appel à la production mondiale pour pouvoir faire cette voiture. Parce que, contrairement
Contrary to what one should do, what people usually do is they take the diamonds first, and then the holes, where they'd be able to set it. Jewelers have the habit, the crazy habit, of first making the holes and then ordering the diamonds. I lead a workshop for high-end jewelry. We received an order for a quite exceptional piece, meaning that we needed to make an Aston Martin in diamonds, meaning the dashboard and the door elements, for a rich client in the United Arab Emirates. So nearly 2.5 months ago, we received the parts directly from Aston Martin, an Aston Martin DB9, and we began to enrich it and put diamonds into it.
l'enrichir et de mettre des diamants dessus. Nous avons calculé pour l'instant.
We calculated for now there are nearly 8,300 stones, and I think we will need to have sorted at least 40,000 stones to find the exact size. It's a piece that will be made in machining. We could not drill holes by hand because we don't have the precision enough. So we study everything in CAD, meaning computer-aided design. Then we'll drill using CNC machines, huge machines. We'll drill holes and then we'll affix the diamonds one by one. There should be 1,200 to 1,300 carats of diamonds.
Il devrait y avoir à peu près 1,200, 1,300 carats de diamants. Pour nous, c'est un bijou.
For us, it's a gem that's out of the ordinary. But you must have the same requirements as for a jewel.
Nous avons dû étudier 52.
We studied 52 different adhesives. We worked with a manufacturer of adhesives to find the right balance. It requires very specific constraints. Temperature, vibrations are also very important. So we have a torture room, and we made tests for several months.
On a une salle des tortures et on a fait des essais pendant plusieurs mois.
Brown diamonds, the cognac color, are rated according to their size, but what's harder to do is to choose each stone according to the shade of color. Indeed, a perfect harmony of color must be obtained out of hundreds of stones. It was a feat to finish this piece. And indeed, if we needed to redo one, it would take several months just to find the stones. We completely, as they say, dried the market up. All stones available were purchased for this project. And after our stone suppliers, it should be a minimum of 6 months to gather the stones we would need in order to make a second car. So I hope our client doesn't resell right away, because otherwise we're in trouble.
Faire une deuxième voiture. Donc j'espère que notre client ne la vendra pas tout de suite, parce qu'on serait dans l'embarras.
The jeweler, Cyril Motte, on top of his wild dreams, has a unique recipe for combining the expertise of French jewelry with his inventive creations. The subtle mix between a mechanical monster and the delicacy of a gemstone, this car is a unique jewel in the world. Like large diamonds and exceptional jewelry, inaccessible to ordinary mortals, it is located outside of time and of human reason. In letting the diamonds leave the forest of Borneo, did the Dayak shamans not want to heal our disconnected and futile world?